didn't like it when I said it, and I'm saying it again. In case you can find a place in your heart to accommodate it, I'm repeating it. The APC is a conglomeration of anti-Jonathan forces. They weren't prepared for any serious governance or political process, right? So when I said it at the time, a lot of people were angry. They said they were progressives. But I studied into it because I covered politics real good at that time. So I had sufficient privilege to know into a lot of things. Now, I'll play shortly. You have seen this video is already trending. It's just a few seconds. Let's play it together and I will analyze something for you. This was Tinubu complaining then about the things we are now complaining about under their APC government. And then you also see Buhari in this same video. You see the picture in there of Buhari, Tinubu, and others leading a protest at the time against the Goodluck Jonathan government.
That is what they are doing with your money. Not enough that they are stealing from our children tomorrow for lack of investment in education. They are still embezzling the retirement benefit of hardworking Nigeria, including our grandfathers. They are stealing the port, the treasury, not even leaving some coins for us to war with. Let them be out. Out now.
That was when the present president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was officially a whaler. At that time, he was a whaler. So now, they protest. You can see the picture. They were protesting seriously at the time. So now they came on the premise of, on the avenue of protests against bad leadership. But now they hate to hear the same thing. And in fact, it is worse. All the things he complained about then, subsidy, inflation, increase in cost of living, embezzlement, corruption, all of those things have more than doubled under the APC government. But it doesn't want people to, I don't know, some people use one word, hypocrisy, but I don't know if it suits in this context, but I'll just not go there. Now, the government is now forming victims. Do you know what I hate the most? Is when people say, give them time, they just came. We heard it during Jonathan. Oh, he just came. PDP 16 years, they say, give him time, give him time. It has become a cliche that is so irritating to the ears now. Give them time, give them time. Okay. Give them time, give them time. A government that wants people to understand anything will also feel the thing with the people. Like you lead by example. Leading by example means that you also sacrifice along with the people. If, for instance, this government came in and said, we are in for a marathon, a long journey, it is to rebuild our country. We will need this, we will need that. So we all need to sacrifice together. If somebody comes on that platter and says, we have to sacrifice together, and the first thing the person does is take a pay cut or say, you know what? I had another job before I came into power. I can take care of myself. I can take care of my family. But to the glory of God, we have enough. And all the people in this cabinet too are not poor. Therefore, we are not here for the money. We will be taking pay cuts. We'll be publishing this, publishing that, and we will need you to join us in the sacrifice. Do you know that leading by such example, nobody will be on the street to protest? I'll be the first to say, no, you can't protest. Too. This person is leading us by example. But when you say, give us time, try to understand, and you start to budget to renew. Okay, somebody was telling us, was it Falana? Was telling us at one function that about 4 point something billion, was it 4.6 billion, that was budgeted for the renovation of former VP's lodge, that is Osinbajo's lodge. They were yet to finish implementing the renovation, 4.6 or something billion. They are yet to exhaust that. The new VP is being budgeted for again for the same renovation, another additional hundreds of millions and billions. And you are telling people to sacrifice. Okay, a president came in, met state hospital, met presidential jets, met everything, vehicles and all that. Have you seen Tinubu's convoy before? And they are still buying more. And it tells us to sacrifice. And the question is, what is the sacrifice about? Who is supposed to sacrifice for who? Nigeria is an irony of everything normal, and I'll explain. You know that when they say, to whom much is given, much is expected. That is the norm, right? What will now be abnormal is that to whom everything is given, nothing is expected. That is the irony of Nigeria. To whom everything is given, nothing is expected. To whom nothing is given, everything is squeezed and expected more from them. That's what we have. A country where people who do not have are still taxed to their bone marrow. Say, you still get small blood in there. You don't want to drain out to feed the person. We don't get blood bank. We don't get anything. You don't want to waste the blood, though. He just wants to waste blood. You don't get need for the blood. But they must continue to drain the person who is already lean. That is the irony called Nigeria. Even in the judiciary, we tested this before. The irony called Nigeria means a country, ordinarily, they say you are guilty until proven innocent. Well, in Nigeria, the moment they pick you, you're already guilty until proven innocent. So it's always the other way. It's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But in Nigeria, it is you are guilty until proven innocent. Similarly, to whom much is given, much is expected, right? But in Nigeria, to whom much is given, nothing is expected. And to whom nothing is given, everything is expected. That's what these people represent. And they say, don't protest. They are now forming victims. Don't destroy this. I understand that the reason a lot of people are afraid of protest is violence. But the question is, who instigates violence in any peaceful protest? The answer is very simple. I don't even have to answer it. NSAS is there. Who started violence? The people were peacefully organized. Like, people were peacefully organized. But then the government came and started shooting into. So who is the purveyor of violence? Who's the purveyor of violence? So when the government is afraid that people are taking the streets just to register their grievances, I see no logic in security agencies coming into an arena as an assembly of people gathering as guaranteed by constitution that they can gather, and they are armed only with placards. Placards are harmless. Placards and cameras, harmless. You are not fighting anybody. You just carry placard. This is our want to. In case you did not hear, in case you are there for, we are writing it to. This is what we want to. That's all they are doing. You now see placard as a threat. You now infiltrate peaceful protesters who are only carrying placard. You now infiltrate them with weapons and start shooting into them. Is placard a weapon threatening bearers of gun? I never see that kind of thing for my life before. Now only in Nigeria, every word of these ironies they happen. And I was telling somebody before who was saying, you blame everything on government, even if you don't get election, it's government. And I said, excuse me, for a moment. You may have weak election because of bad government. You say, I say, I'll prove it to you. You work all day, spend hours in traffic, frustrated, do everything, and you end up with nothing. You now come home and you are thinking about the next day, and your wife is saying, you came home to the news that your children's school fees is due, they have increased tuition, food is, you no longer have food stuff at home, and food is now more expensive. You know how much a bag of rice is. You came home to the news, landlord association came, the levy is due, we are supposed to pay new one, security levy, this levy, that levy, NEPA came, bill, this, and you have to pay. How will you have a relation? Even if you try to play with your wife, because your mind is somewhere else, and you know this thing has to do with blood pumping from the heart into the regions you need them. But because your mind is distracted, you can't even think about your present, where you are at the moment. So government is responsible for weak elections in this country. We can link it. See, there's correlation because the mind is not settled. You need a settled mind to be able to have passionate affair. You know what I mean? But when your mind is not settled, your mind is divided into 200 places, and somebody wants all those 200 pieces to be in one place for her. And that person already was waiting with bills for you before you came. And you came back with almost nothing after working everything. You came back with nothing. And somebody was waiting for you with more bills than you are coming back home with. And then she still wants you to put all those 200 things in. Government is responsible for weak erection. I put it to you. So what we say in simple terms is we need government to be sensitive. The only explanation government, all those columnists they are putting out there, including the Yoruba Ronu columnists, if they think too, all the effort, except that most of them are paid to, so they can't talk to their master, who pays the piper, calls the tune, right? Otherwise, they should be able to use that effort to talk to government. Don't talk to people not to protest. Talk to government to say, come, you too. These people want this thing. What does it take to do it? If a government comes to power and says, we have 10 jets in the presidential fleet, I don't need all 10. What do I need them for? Sell off 5, let's build roads. We have this. In the convoy alone, we have over 200 that are to do what? Anytime the president wants to pass, they have to shut the whole road. So, and these are the same things we complained that Goodluck Jonathan and wife did when they were in power, shutting down airspace for one person to pass. We are shutting down economic hours, and it didn't make sense then, right? If it didn't make sense then, why would it make sense now? Sell off half of those in the country, and we need more soldiers to keep this country safe. Where there are, places terror ridden, we need also the policemen. You don't. President is even have you seen a minister convoy before? Governor's convoy. How many police officers do we have in this country? And they have allocated over almost 80% to themselves. Share them to themselves. In some instances, I read in one place where they say about 600 police officers are guiding one resident. Kilo day. Is that a war zone? But there will be no police officers to check places that things are wrong among civilians. The few ones that are left feel cheated that they are supposed to also be posted to be guiding, private citizens who are rich. But because they don't get them, those ones that are posted to the road are using it as a venue to be extorting. That is where we are. That's where we are. And you say people should not protest. Fold arms and watch you. Fold arms and watch you continue to. While I'm not in support of violence. Nigerian protesters have over time demonstrated that they are not violent. Over time, Nigerian protesters have demonstrated that they are not violent. In fact, in most cases, Nigerians don't like protests. Call Nigerians for protests now. They will be saying, no, I don't want to go. And let's give them time. But the reason they are angry And the protest is because of the insensitivity of government. There's no way a person will come to power and say, let's take pay cut, all of us. Lead by example. I'm the president. I take pay cut. I'm supposed to be collecting maybe 10 million per month. But because that is not why I'm here, I want us to work together. Cut it by 50%, for instance. Don't worry, I can take care of myself. Is it what my family will eat? We were already established before I came to power. Cut it. People will say, oh yes, we are doing this together. We are with our president. We are doing. The moment the president takes such decision, trust me, hundreds of others in government, whether senator, minister, labeled as honorable, rep, governor, whatever, we also see how our president is leading by example. We must support him. We want to build this country together. There's no way any reasonable person will see a president taking pay cuts and cutting the excessive use of vehicles and things in his cabinet. I will not say no. We all must live simple. They will also take pay cut voluntarily. Voluntarily, they will take it. And next thing, you now see people understanding their government. So yeah, we are in this together. Nobody will protest. If anybody comes out to say they want to protest, I can guarantee you they will tell the person, sit down. Can't you see he's also sacrificing? But you are telling people to sacrifice and you are using visible and conspicuous consumption to mock them. Go work now. While they are suffering, you are building this, you are building that for yourself. Buying new yacht, presidential yacht, your son is taking presidential jets. You are buying new jet, you are taking it to go and watch football club match. It's insensitive now. Quite insensitive. So my point again is, yes, I understand why. And why are you even? I've not even seen a tweet by Peter Obi calling for protest. I have not seen a tweet by Peter Obi calling for protest. But why is presidency calling Peter Obi? Showore is calling for protest. Are you afraid of Showore? No, let's talk it now. Showore is calling for protest. You don't want to mention it. Many people are calling for protest. We are not talking about the Peter Obi that has not even mentioned protest for once, nor even tweeted about it. Is the one you are show proof that Peter Obi. So if Peter Obi was interested in a protest, he would have been when he claimed that it was rigged out, that he won the election, even though he came third, according to INEC. That is when he would have, but he was calming protesters down. If Nashore get that kind of crowd, for election, you can't award that kind of vote given. Court and protest back on na, Unfortunately, Nigerians went for many youths, decided to go for Peter Obi. They fall inside the game, no wahala. If not Showore, you try that with. You see, they know they mention Showore for this kind of thing. Showore is the one calling for protest every day. Now Peter Obi, they go look. They are always looking for the cheap. Nigeria government. It just shows how cowardly or weak. But all I'm saying is that federal government should stop playing the victim card. The only way to stop people from embarking on this protest simply is cut down on your own expenses. Start discussing it at the National Assembly. How you want to amend the Constitution to be on the side of the people. How you want to cut down on costs, irrelevant costs, that is enriching senators anyhow, enriching rep members anyhow, why people are continuing to be poor. Do that and watch people say they don't even want to protest again. But by the way, if your own intent, and I must say it before I end this live show, if your intent is to go out and destroy any property, it's at your own risk. And I must tell you why. I understand why those who are saying no to protest are saying so. The idea of going to bomb government property is not protest anymore. That is vandalism. That is brigandage. Protest is protest, And I understand if your intent is to come and destroy a state for your own state to continue to be, no, it doesn't make sense. Please shun violence as we go on this protest, and federal government to please, police men, you are also suffering. Protect protesters. Only pick those who want to destroy public infrastructure. We are not protesting to destroy what we don't even have enough of. No, we must protect them. But that protest,